We've seen young presidents, old presidents, black presidents, and even celebrity presidents. But what about a YouTuber president? It is 2048, and by this time, Jimmy Donaldson, aka Mr.Beast, will officially be in his mid-40s. By now, Jimmy will have reached the constitutional age of eligibility, being at least 35 years old, while also meeting the 14 years residency requirement, and being a natural-born citizen. Up until this point, Jimmy will have infiltrated the minds of so many young people who grew up watching his vids. So when they hear that he's running for president, it'll bring up all the good memories of when he gave $10,000 to a homeless man, or when he gave a house to the last person that leaves it, or even when he recreated Squid Game and invited all of his fans out to play in it. But to understand how he got here, we must first take a step back all the way to 2012, when Jimmy posted his first vid. Back then, Jimmy Donaldson was no different from your average kid who didn't know what he was going to do with his life. As a result, he decided to put all his time into making videos. Like the saying goes, the more you do something, the better you get at it. Mr.Beast eventually began to find his stride, and fast forward several years later, and millions of views, here we are. What was surprising during all of this was the fact that even after all that fame and fortune, Jimmy never let it get to his head. Instead, he remained humble, always making sure to give back to his fans. Moreover, his perseverance and dedication to making the best content can be seen where he gives hundreds, if not thousands of dollars away almost as soon as he gets them. Presidential campaign.
About being the greatest YouTuber ever, what's next? Because I was listening to your Rogan, and I swear to God, I thought this guy should be president.
Oh,
I know, I'll say that'd be fun. Is that something you've thought about?
Yeah, I would love to. I just feel like...
So now that brings us to today's question. What if Mr.Beast runs for president? Well, to start, those close to him have mentioned his White House ambitions, so the moment he announces his presidency, it will definitely cause an uproar. Given Mr.Beast's popularity and his history of helping people, it would definitely make him a strong candidate. And considering the work he has done for Team Trees and Team Seas along with helping various food banks during the pandemic, it is no secret that he is a man of the people. This level of transparency would not only benefit him massively in the eyes of voters who are looking for actual change, but also in front of millions of Americans who are tired of the widespread corruption in Washington. Having not climbed the political ladder, Mr.Beast would probably run as an independent. And assuming Jimmy keeps growing his YouTube brands such as Beast Burgers and Feastables, he just might have enough to fund his whole campaign. By now, Mr.Beast is probably also the first YouTuber billionaire and doesn't need to rely on other people's money, therefore reducing his reliance on political committees such as lobbyists and super PACs who may try to influence his decisions with external motives. As with any presidential run, when things get heated, questions about his experience and ability to govern may arise. His opposition would most likely talk about his age, along with how being a successful YouTuber doesn't necessarily translate to a good leader. Yet, it may also be for this reason why so many people could find Mr.Beast refreshing in a sea of politicians, where they often overpromise and underdeliver. Fortunately, assuming Mr.Beast runs in 2048, he'll have over an entire 2 decades to plan his campaign, along with how to deal with the biggest issues facing America, such as climate change, unemployment, and even healthcare. One thing we can be rest assured about is knowing that, like his YouTube channel, Jimmy will most likely consult with the top experts in their field. Thus, he'll have more than enough time to put together a plan on how to best tackle these issues. By that time, his youngest supporters, the iPad kids, will have also met the legal age to vote, causing almost every US citizen to know him. Since Jimmy's politics are mainly progressive, it will not only resonate with the younger generation, but will also cause them to make up the majority of his voter base. Domestic policies. As for what policies he would introduce, we could start with education. Historically, the US has fallen behind globally in important subjects such as math and science, ranking 38th overall. This lag can partly be blamed on American views toward education, treating schools more like daycare rather than places of learning. When compared with countries like Japan and Finland, American teachers are not only faced with decreasing pay, but also a lack of respect. This only leads to a downward spiral of teachers leaving and no new teachers coming in. It has long been said that we need to update our school system to better align with the needs of the 21st century. As president, Jimmy would most likely try to implement modern solutions that better fit our digital age. For instance, platforms such as Udemy already offer courses that can teach better than any public school ever could, while companies such as Skillshare even aim to create videos that tailor to different students' learning styles. For his economic policies, Jimmy seems to be the type of person to support small businesses, as we've seen how Jimmy has transformed his hometown of Greenville, North Carolina, with supersized production studios called Beastville, employing over 250 employees and contractors. The highlight? He has 5 houses in Beastville where he houses his employees and friends for free. As president, his policies could extend this support on a wider scale, providing grants and subsidies such as the universal basic income, an idea made popular with the 2020 presidential candidate Andrew Yang. This would not only massively strengthen the backbone of the American economy, but it would also greatly benefit the small businesses that make up nearly 50% of the US's economy. Moreover, Mr.Beast could also create many job opportunities. By channeling his innovative thinking into economic policies and consulting with the top experts in their fields, Mr.Beast could bring about countless new careers, especially in the digital and creative fields. When it comes to environmental issues, Jimmy's main focus would probably start with fighting climate change. For those of you who have been OG fans of his channel, you probably remember his Team Trees project, where he planted 20 million trees to celebrate getting 20 million followers on YouTube.
Today, we will be planting 20 million trees.
Or when he and Mark Rober teamed up for Team Seas, where they launched a global campaign to raise $30 million to remove 30 million pounds of plastic from the ocean.
This is one of the dirtiest beaches in the entire world, and we're gonna pick up every single piece of trash on this beach.
What's crazy is the fact that these were something no president has even considered of doing before. These projects inspired people all over the world, causing even some celebrities like Elon Musk and the YouTube CEO, Susan Wojcicki, to come and join in on the act. As president, Mr.Beast could not only leverage his influence to promote the switch to renewable energy, but can also simultaneously allocate resources to make those technologies more efficient. In fact, in his recent video, Jimmy has already taken the initiative to power an entire village in Africa using solar power, and even powered a remote island in Colombia with the very help of his own beast philanthropy. Now, just imagine what he could do if he were in a position of power. Foreign policies. Moving on to his foreign policies, promoting global cooperation in philanthropy would most likely take center stage. With how divided the world is today, that just might get worse in the future. Fortunately, thanks to Jimmy's amazing track record of supporting humanitarian efforts worldwide, we might see a new era of international collaboration. Mr.Beast could help create positive, respectful relationships with other countries. This would not only challenge the current norms of one-sided diplomacy, but it would also tell other countries that we are serious about creating situations in which both parties benefit. Remember when he ran a free grocery store to help people in need, or the time he gave away $1 million worth of food to struggling families? The list just goes on and on. Whether it's cleaning the oceans, building wells in Africa, or even planting millions of trees, it's 100% clear that Mr.Beast isn't just BSing us. He's actually making it happen. But it doesn't end there. Jimmy could start collabing with countries worldwide to finally eradicate hunger or even give everyone access to free internet. By doing that, no matter how poor someone is, they'll at least have access to free high-quality education about anything they want. The challenges. Unfortunately, if Mr.Beast becomes president, then his YouTube channel would most likely end up taking the backstage, as the responsibilities of running a country would far outweigh the duties of managing a channel. However, that is not to say he would completely throw his YouTube channel aside. One possible scenario could be Jimmy using his unique blend of entertainment to usher in a new era of political transparency, such as ride-alongs to diplomatic negotiations, entertaining videos about new policies, or even open discussions about national matters. For instance, can you imagine a viral Burning Questions for President Beast, a YouTube segment where he personally addresses the biggest fears and critics directly, like the comment section of YouTube live streams? That would take transparency to a whole new level. This would not only shatter the traditional boundaries between government and citizens, but it would also open the door for everyone to be engaged in discussions about national decisions. But, as with anything, there is still over 2 decades between now and 2048, and there is a lot of things that can change between this time. And no matter how good Jimmy Donaldson might be as president, there will always be people who disagree. Thus, let us know in the comments below what you think, and see you in the next one.